Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Apostle Sean, and I'm coming to you with this brand new series about cases. I want to talk about generational cases. Then, if God allows me, I will have time to talk about these other cases which are not general cases. When we are talking about general cases, we are talking about those cases which are personal, which are for you only, which can never affect anybody. There are cases like those, like let's say you steal from somebody, then that person begins to cry and whatsoever. You can be cursed by God depending on how you want to handle the case. Then when we are talking about generational cases, we are talking about those cases which you don't even know the reason why you have them, because they were transferred from your forefathers, from your foremothers, from your parents. Because there are some people who are asking God, what did I do to deserve what I'm going through in life? So in most cases, this is caused by generational cases. You actually didn't contribute to what you are going through. So the behavior of generational cases is like this. Your life takes a certain behavior from your parents' life. So all of your family members, anybody carrying your name, carrying your same name, anybody carrying the same blood with you, will be going through everything that you are going through exactly. Like let's say we have some families which we really know would, no matter they can be married today, we are just waiting for the day of divorce. Divorce is part of their lifestyle. So for them to survive in marriage, it's either constant prayers or visiting sangomas, mapostori, or whatsoever. They try everything to secure their marriages, whereas marriage is not supposed to be anchored by prayer or whatsoever. Marriage is given by God, because the Bible says what God has joined together, no man can put asunder. No man can separate the two that God has joined. Nobody has that power, even the demons. But there are some people who survive in marriages only by prayer or help from sangomas, prophets, apostles, and pastors. Each and every day they are consulting people in regards with their marriages, because in their families they really know that any time is tea time. You can lose your marriage. And the same thing that will be happening to her will be also happening to her sister, will be also happening to her brother. Your life will take a similar behavior, a thing which keeps on going on in everybody of your family. That's a generational case. Things that you can't explain. Even if you are to say you sinned or you did something wrong to God, there are certain levels of poverty, certain levels of suffering, certain levels of bad luck that you can't even equate to the sins that you did. Because there are people who sinned against God deeply, who are not even experiencing what you are experiencing. Even money, when it gets into your hands, it has a certain behavior. Even if it's too much, it will begin to devaluate itself in your hands. We have some people who say, whenever I have money, I don't even understand where it goes, and I can't even explain it. So the case can even hold the money's value and also hold your mind that you won't even be able to explain how you used your money. Imagine as simple as that. And when you are hearing it from outside, you'll be like, ah, this person is crazy. They are not crazy. That's how cases do. They even confuse you. To you, it's a simple thing that somebody must be able to explain. But if you are under a case, even confusion will follow. Everything bad will follow. This is what we call a generational case. I know of a family from the mother, the father, the sisters, and everybody, all of them, they are HIV positive. So you wonder, okay, what kind of prostitution is this which gives this blood status to everybody? So it means if you are under that kind of a case, you can even receive HIV from an unknown source. Have you ever seen somebody who was married negative, then the day she was married or after she was married, she tested HIV positive and the husband was negative? And you wonder how it happened. You can't explain it because the case is moving through something. So I need you to listen to this teaching, because if this teaching is not going to help you understand the operation of cases and how to break them, I don't think there is another teaching which is gonna explain well to you, because I'm trying to mobilize some information and to mobilize some understanding in you so that you can get the sense of every teaching, every point that I'm gonna put on the table. Cases are real. Cases are real. So now I don't want to deal with the general cases. Maybe you just broke somebody's virginity, you lied to them that you love them forever, and they cried over your name over and over. That can't be a generational case. It will haunt you. If not today, it's tomorrow. Yeah, it can't be a generational case, that one. It can be yours. If God is going to punish maybe your child, it must also affect you. But that can't be a generational case. I'm talking about a thing which came from your forefathers, then straight up to you. So I'll use the scriptures to try to explain these situations about the generational cases, right? So in simple terms, let me just say a generational case is a transferred bad luck. Because a case is a bad luck, it can cause bad luck. A case is a limitation. A case is a roadblock. A case is the power that takes you down. A case is everything negative. So that's a transferred bad luck. The transferred power to bring you down. So when you are talking about a generational case, this is what you are talking about. So this is the power that fights you. This is the power that fights against your marriage, the power that fights against your money, the power that fights against your health. So it depends with which case is following you. So if you are being followed by a case which doesn't want you to be rich, it makes sure that whenever you have an opportunity to make it in life, it is there to bring you down. Probably you have a meeting, it will make sure that you are late for that meeting so that you can be disappointed. I know of somebody who wanted to go to UK. The same day she lost the papers. I was like, yeah, these cases have power. I know of plenty of people who are about to be married next week. And the parents began to fight for nonsense. And the marriage was stopped all of a sudden. Or else the father will begin to fight the sons-in-laws for no reasons. Or something will just happen to make sure that the progress you are about to enter into is distracted. So anything that you are cast in, there is a power to bring you down when you are about to be elevated in a certain area that you are cast. So, men of God, what you are talking about Is it biblical or you're just saying things from your mind? No, I can't say things from my mind. I know the Bible. I'm getting everything from the Bible. Generational cases are real. And the first person to get a generational case, a case which we are also under up to this day, is Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve were cursed by God because of eating the forbidden fruit. And the life they were living in the Garden of Eden was different from the life that we are living here. The suffering that we are having, the pain that we are having and everything were not there. Until these people sinned and God came and had a conversation with them. So Adam was told, for you to survive on this earth, you shall survive on tilling the ground. You shall work, sweat, and put effort for you to eat. So that curse was transferred from Adam to you. Not to you only. Everybody born of a man lives the life of Adam. Even the the ladies were given pains on giving birth. And they were told to be submissive to men. So it means it was not like that before, but it was given by God as a curse for disobedience. So every woman born of Eve lives under the curse of labor pains. Each time you are giving birth and you are feeling the pains, the problem is Eve, and the curse was transferred from Eve to every woman. Anything that changed from the life from Eden and the life outside Eden was transferred from Adam to every generation. So it's a generational curse. Till the day you die, you will be living under the Adamic curse, under the Eve curse. That is why you hear death came as a curse again. Because God told Adam, the day you are going to eat of this fruit, you are going to die. So death was not part of our lives. It came as a curse for disobedience. Hence, in the book of Romans, chapter 5, verse 12 to 21, it will be explaining about how sin and death came through one man and spread to whole generation. And it also explains how life, righteousness, and the goodness of God came through one man, Jesus Christ, and spread to all generations. So it is very possible to inherit problems from your parents. It is very possible to inherit suffering from your parents. It is very possible. If it happened in Adam, then it also happened from the fathers who gave birth to you. So I want you to listen to me. So you must read also Romans chapter 5 verse 12 to 21. It talks about how sin was brought by one man, and this sin caused death, and the death was spread to everybody born of Adam, including you, your father, your mother, and everybody. Then the second case, we find it in Genesis chapter 4. A brother called Cain killed his brother called Abel because they had made sacrifices, and God loved the sacrifice of another brother. And the other brother was so jealous and he killed his brother. This is where our plenty cases are here. The cases of vengeance. Vengeance means revenge. So Cain killed Abel. When Cain killed Abel, the Bible says the blood of Abel began to cry from the ground, complaining to the Lord, crying for revenge. Of course, the blood can't do anything to the living Cain, but to God it can complain. So it's very dangerous to play around human beings, because imagine if a human being can complain to God whilst he is dead. I'm scared of human beings. But what I've realized about the human beings, there are two things which are dangerous on a human being. There is the spirit. The spirit can go back to God, but the blood can complain even from the ground. So blood has got a language that it can speak, because here God was not hearing the spirit of Abel. No, he was hearing the blood of Abel from the ground, because obviously the Bible tells us that if a human being dies, his spirit goes back to God, and here we are left with the body. The body is the one which contains the flesh. So even a dead body of a human being, so long it's containing blood, it's dangerous. So it's very risky to play around people's lives, especially the shedding of blood. Then my question is, if a human being is able to cry to God when he is dead, what about when he is alive? So you need to be very careful when you are living this life. Leave people alone, leave their belongings alone. Don't steal from them, don't make them cry, don't abuse them, don't cheat them, please just don't play around human beings, because plenty people right now, as I'm speaking, there are plenty people who did plenty wrong things to human beings, and God is still holding grudges against them for that. That is why you hear in another portion in the Bible, God said, when you want to give an offering to the church, then you think of a problem that you are having with your brother. Before you give your offering, please don't give your offering, just leave it on the altar and go and make your matters well with your brother. Ask for forgiveness, and once you are okay with your brother, come back and give your offering. Meaning, good, if you have a problem with somebody, even your offering can be affected. That's why we have some people who are still giving to the churches, who are still giving to the poor, but still suffering, because their cases are not there because of not giving. They are there because of what they did to other human beings in their lives. That's why when I was growing up, I was very sensitive. I made sure that on the areas of using people's daughters, I was very sensitive. I was very, very, very sensitive, because they used to come in numbers. They used to come in numbers, but I was so scared, you know, because of that kind of thing, that a person will be crying over your name every day. I didn't want something like that. And you have somebody you impregnated. You slept with the person knowing that you don't even love her, and she got pregnant, and you rejected her. She suffered, and it's up to now she's still suffering. She had a straight life, a life which was going somewhere. You convinced her that you love her. You slept with her, she became pregnant, you rejected her. You told her all sort of words, knowing well that you are the one who was responsible for everything. You refused. And right now you are waiting for the day when the child grows up and you begin to claim to be a father. What a foolish man you are. And most of the things which are bound in your life, they are caused because of this. You need to be fair in life. God is fair enough to judge. So don't play around a human being. Whatever that is not yours, don't take. Because imagine you work hard for your money, you work hard for your phone, you work hard for your car, then somebody just comes and take. That is why you see the end of the people who do evil is very painful. It is because human life is very important, because they contain blood, they contain the spirit and the soul. So the blood of Abel cried for revenge and said, oh God, look at me, I'm killed now. Please revenge this brother. And God came after Cain. And Cain was asked, where is Abel? He was like, am I my brother's keeper? I don't know. Then God said, but even if you try to hide it from me, everything that happens in the secret still comes to me, because the blood of your brother is calling after me, crying for revenge. So this is how cases are generated. Our fathers in the older times, our forefathers, if you research about African history, you will hear that a lot of blood was shed. A lot of things, cruel stuff happened in the past. I recall that sometimes when these people could even go to a level of making some human sacrifices to please their ancestors. There are some cultures which are like that in the past. They could kill people to sacrifice to their ancestral spirits or to their kind of gods or whatsoever. And some people were killed to take body parts for rituals. A lot happened. Some people worked hard. Like there was a system, like for us Shona people, there is this system. Even though I'm not Shona, I'm not Shona. I'm Yawo. For those who don't know, I am Yawo. I am from Zimbabwe, but I am Yawo. But I grew up in the Shona culture. In our Shona culture, there is this thing that we call. It was also there even in Israel, whereby you can work in a family working for a wife. Maybe you can work for a family working for a cow. You can work for years and years and years. So as you are staying with them, maybe you'll be keeping their cows, working for them in the fields. Then after 10 years, you'll be expecting to be given maybe your 5 cows, a wife, and so forth. So what our forefathers used to do, they were not faithful sometimes. When these people could work hard, these people were very patient. They would work hard, so hard and so hard. Then after that, when they want to claim their stuff, they would be killed so that they can be silenced. And some of them, they were buried by the yards. Even the yards that you are claiming to be your rural areas by now, they have bad histories. It also happened even to Jacob. Jacob worked for Rachel and Leah, but the father he didn't want to give what belonged to Jacob. So this system have been there. There are plenty of people who were killed innocently. There were plenty of people who were not given their wages. Our father used the people. Our father did a lot of stuff. Sometimes they sacrificed even human beings. Sometimes they killed the people. It might not be in the 90s or 80s, but a long time ago. But blood can trace. So, men of God, you are telling me we are being punished for the sins of our fathers. Where do you get that? Is that possible? Is that biblical, or you are just dreaming? Everything that I showed you here, we are suffering because of the sin of Adam. We are dying because of the sin of Adam. Women are getting the labor pains because of the sin of Eve. Not even that. Even if you look in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 5 verse 9, it speaks about that. It is God who was telling the children of Israel, please don't worship idols or do anything that displeases me, because I am a jealous God who can be able to punish the children because of the sins of their fathers to the 3rd generation or the 4th. So if your fathers are evil right now to an extent that they hate the Lord, everything about God they hate it. Especially those kind of fathers who sit in the taverns, begins to talk rubbish about Jesus. Hey, Jesus was like that. That is so dangerous. God is saying, I am that kind of God who can visit the sins of the fathers to the 4th and the 5th generation of the people who used to hate me. Somebody in the 4th generation who doesn't even know that you existed can suffer because of your hatred for God. Generational cases are very powerful. Better if you are being punished for a sin which will end at least at the 4th generation. But what about the blood language? Something that is transferred through the blood. Even Jeremiah chapter 31 verse 29, it speaks about the same. The fathers have eaten the sour grapes and the children's teeth are set at edge. This means what? You know, the sour grapes, the fathers are the ones who ate them. But the ones who are feeling the pains on their teeth are the children. But they are not the ones who ate the grapes. The grapes were eaten by the father. But because of the blood transfer, your teeth are set at edge. So it's very possible to suffer the consequences of what your father did. Even you guys, you must read your Bible well. There was a tribe in the Bible which came out to fight against the children of Israel when they were coming out of Israel. Right? Then later, when the children of Israel had settled, God told the king called Saul to go and fight and destroy and kill and eliminate this tribe for something that happened to their fathers long time ago in the wilderness. Separate generations, plenty years apart, and everybody who saw this happening was dead already, and the generation which was punished never knew anything about it, but they were still punished for that. Don't play with God. So as I'm speaking right now, most of the problems that you are going through, you never called for them. You just inherited them from your fathers. You just inherited them from your mother. The lifestyle of your mother is exactly your lifestyle. The lifestyle of your father is exactly your lifestyle. And even your father doesn't know about it. He inherited it like that, and he transferred it to everybody of his lineage. Generational cases, they are very dangerous. You give birth to 7 children, all of them, they will suffer like nobody's business. That is why you see, when we are families, maybe we are 7, we can grow up with the one religion, or maybe all of us, we don't even go to church. But as we grow, you will find this one is going to this other church, this one to Apostolic, this one to a prophetic church, this one to a Pentecostal church, this one to a apostolic church, this one to a Sangoma, this one what. Everybody will be doing his own stuff. What causes that is this. People will be looking at their lives and they will be like, why is it we are like this? We are known for being poor. We are known for failing. Why is it we are like this? So as a result, anybody can look for the help from any closer source, anything that he is exposed to. If you are exposed to Mapostoli, you will begin to follow Mapostolis. If you are exposed to Ngoshuku, you will begin to follow them. If you are exposed to prophetic churches, you will begin to follow them. Anything that you are exposed to is what you begin to follow. So you will see one family having different kind of religion. It is caused by the pressures of the generational cases. People will be trying to get rid of what's in their blood, what's in their family, what's in their surname, what follows them. Cain killed Abel and God cursed him. And the Bible says, God said, I'll put a mark on you so that everybody who is going to see you will kill you, will run after you trying to kill you. So this means what? Even a person who doesn't want to kill, once he sees Cain, the spirit of killing will get into him, not because he is a killer, but there is somebody who has a spirit of being killed. So there is somebody who loves her. The man looks at you and he feels like, no, this is the woman, you are beautiful, the structure, you can speak nicely, you are not even harsh, you dress well, everything about you is good. But because you have a case which says you shall never be married, once you get into contact with somebody, the spirit of hating a woman will get into that man and he will begin to hate you. Then you wonder, this man in the beginning, he was good at me, but nowadays, everything is wrong. Then that's an anti-marriage case. So there are some people, maybe your forefathers in the past, somebody worked for a wife. Maybe for 10 years, for 11 years, a wife and a cow and you know what, whatsoever. Then your fathers didn't give, they killed a person. And the blood cried to God for revenge. And because the matter, it has to do with a wife and some cows, some cattle. So this is the riches. So it means that God will raise a case against marriage in your blood. So it becomes a generational case to everybody born from that father to the last generation. Because in your family there was an issue about marriages, an issue about cattle. So as long as you are living under the names of your father, the blood of your father, your totem and whatsoever, you shall be under their power, and they shall control your love life, they shall control your finances and everything. No matter how hard you can try. There are some people who were told, good, if you want to make it in life, work hard. They worked hard, they never made it. Because there is a power which brings them down whenever they want to climb higher. And there is a very big mistake to try to make it in life. When you are operating under the powers of cases, they will bring you down. You need to know the kind of forces which are fighting against you. If you don't know your enemy, you will never defeat him. That is why you see during the times of wars, there are what we call spies, people who can get into an area and understand the area before you get into it. Because if you can get into an area ignorantly, you get trapped and you will die there. So what you need to know the map, you need to know the bases, you need to know the secrets, you need to know the environment, you need to know the geography, you need to know everything about the place, so that before you enter, you are safe. So there are plenty of people who think for them to be okay in life, they need somebody to give them money to start a business. What about the case which is raised against your business? Happened in the past, and everything that happened in the past, there are some things which were accumulated into our blood. And once it's the part of the blood is contagious. Blood can be transferred. So long you are born from him, you carry his blood, and the one who is going to be born from you. And it's not only on the father's side, even on the mother's side. Don't forget that when you are in your mother's womb, you eat through the umbilical cord, where you get connected to your mother. So everything from your mother is in you. There are some people who are having cases from their mothers, some people having cases from their fathers. Generational cases. Those things, they are not even good at all. Telling you, as we experienced them, we saw how life can be tough. Some other things which people tell you they are so easy, to you they just become tough. You know, when you have a case which opposes your finances, I don't know how it came, but it seems like it's coming from somewhere. Whenever you find a job, you begin to lose favor from the bosses all of a sudden, and they'll tell you that, please, we think we have found somebody. And I know of some people who just begins to be sick whenever they find a job. When they are not working, they are proper, they are healthy. And the devil will be using the energy to give them too much complaints against God. Once they find a job, they begin to feel sick. They begin to hear a lot of bad news from their families, which makes them do plenty mistakes. I know of people whenever they are employed, the first thing that they do when they are working for their bosses is to break furniture. The glasses are broken. The plates are broken. The fridge is cracked. Everything in their hands begin to be, you know, that kind of a thing. Cases to make sure that you are not loved, you are not accommodated. For you to work, you have to be a servant, apologizing every day. You are never free everywhere. I know of people like that. So sometimes you don't need money for you to be okay. The cases need to be broken. You need to be told, how can you be free from cases? How can you be free from the powers that you don't know where they come from? Men of God, is that possible? This is why I brought this topic. You can be free and you shall be free. You need to follow this series and give it to your families so that they can understand. So I can't explain what happened because some of the things I don't even know. I was not there. But there is a, you know yourself. But what is happening to me is not something that I chose. I just took it from my parents. You don't know of people who just begins to lose their teeth at a certain age. All of them, they will be like that. You don't know. What is in your life that is behaving the same way from your brother? What is in your life that is behaving the same way with your father? What is in your life that is behaving the same way with your cousins? Everybody carrying your blood. And the other thing which causes the generational cases, covenants, agreements. It's like me. This day, then I just decide. Remember that the covenant that God did with Abraham was the covenant that followed his children even when they were in Egypt suffering. God came to them and rescued them because of the covenant he did with Abraham. Even when Moses was told to approach the elders, the conversation was basing from what God did with Abraham. So they were protected even though they were suffering and whatsoever. It was the God plan because of the covenant he had made with Abraham. Everything that happened in their lives, it was a prophetic word which was told Abraham, but your children shall get into a land and they shall be afflicted and whatsoever, but they shall come out there during this period, blah, 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 because of the covenant which happened with Abraham. So covenants which we make, covenants which our fathers makes, can bring cases into our lives. Let me show you something. There are some people who are being bound in their lives because of the ancestral spirits which are claiming them. They will be saying, you are ours, you need to cook, you need to brew beer for us, you need to buy what do you call snuff for us, you need to buy these clothes for us and whatsoever. They are following you, they have a right because there was a covenant which was made by your fathers. And they took their blood, some of them they cut themselves and mixed the blood with whatsoever, and they made bonds, they made covenants there. Meaning good, everybody coming after them, so long you are taking the same blood. The covenant they did with these spirits are going to make sure that anybody born from this man is going to be followed by these spirits. So that's why you see that these spirits, they claim a lot on people. It is because of the covenants which were made by our fathers. So some of the people, they are suffering because they are not following what their fathers used to do. And your fathers used to do strange things, following these ancestral spirits, what, and you are not doing it. So you not doing it, you are being cursed for that because they are following you, trying to lure you to them. So you following Christ is their problem. So they will make you suffer so that you can realize that they are there, you follow them, and they will make your life proper. Covenants are very strong. So these covenants are blocking our marriages, are blocking everything, our money, everything. We are suffering, we are seeing a lot in life because of these covenants. These people, they were just doing anything, any spirit which just comes and convinces them that we are proper, they could make covenants with them. After those covenants, now they are entitled to our lives. Yeah, then some of you were made like, you know, the wives of Stokoloshes. Yeah, it differs. Because some of these old fathers, what they used to do, they would go and look for charms, mishonga, you know, powers and so forth. So on looking for power, there are covenants, there are certain sacrifices which are needed. You can even be told, okay, for us to give you this one, you need to follow this. Failure to do this one will happen. Sometimes the covenants will be not having anything to do with their children. But sometimes our fathers would fail to fulfill what was required there. And they were told, if you fail to do what we want, maybe you give us a person after 3 years. And maybe sometimes your father didn't have anybody to sacrifice. And the condition of the power sacrifice was like, when you fail to do it, all of your children, the female will fail to get married. So you are just getting married because you need narrow lenkani. But otherwise, the covenant which your fathers did a long time ago doesn't want you to be married. The conditions are different. I'm just trying to highlight to you to open your eyes and understand how other things can happen. It's painful. And some people are made what we call scapegoats, sacrificing. Whereby a father is being tormented by the Tokoloshi he took somewhere. and the Tokoloshi is now wanting a wife, and the father maybe will refuse with the daughters he has, then the Tokoloshi will begin to haunt everybody born of that. Because Tokoloshi is just a spirit. There is nothing much there. Just a spirit which is made into something that we don't even understand. We can't even explain here. Then everybody from the bloodline is suffering. So, I want to help somebody here. If you are cursed, you really know that in your family there is a certain thing which happens in a similar way. This is your topic, and you shall be free and be free indeed. As the Bible says, when the Son of Man set you free, you shall be free and be free indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to lie to you. Generational cases are very serious, and their best way to transmit from one person to another, number one is the blood. I want you to mark this one, write it down, the blood. I told you that the blood is a language. The blood can speak. Because the blood of Abel was able to complain to God. Even the blood of Jesus, the book of Hebrew, it says we have a better blood which speaks better things, which is the blood of Jesus. Even if you are going to test for HIV, they will not ask you, do you have HIV or not? They will say, let's test the blood. Even if you want to know if the child is yours, they will never ask you, so do you look alike? They will test the blood. Because the blood will speak, it has language. If they want to test BP or whatsoever, they will test the blood. The contents of the blood can speak. The blood can tell that you are HIV positive. The blood can tell everything about you. It can even tell anything that is in it. So it is the fastest means to transfer a generational curse. So when you are born from your father, you inherit the blood. And the situation becomes worse when your mother also has a bad blood. Hi! That's a very serious situation. Very, very serious situation. Your mother is cursed. You are cursed too. Ah! Hey! Even you are suffering from the curse of Adam because of the blood. You never know, you never saw Adam, you don't even know how he looked like, but the blood that you are carrying is from him. It is the same blood which is seen in the Garden of Eden. So right now you have the cases of Adam and the cases of your forefathers. I don't know from which generation. Hi. Then I want you to see something here. A man called Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The man called Abraham gave birth to a man called Isaac, and Isaac gave birth to Jacob. I want to give you verses so that you can go and check how powerful blood is. Blood is very, very powerful. I'm scared of blood. If you check in the book of Genesis chapter 11 verse 30 to 25, Genesis chapter 11 verse 30, right? I'm very sure I'm correct there. Genesis chapter 11 verse 30 downwards there. You discover that Sarah was barren. The Abraham's wife, she was barren, right? Then Abraham and Sarah conceived at an older age. They gave birth when they were old. They were at a level that they were not supposed to give birth. So they miraculously had a child, not under normal circumstances. Then when they gave birth to their child, Isaac also suffered with barrenness. If you read the book of Genesis chapter 25 verse 21 to 28. Genesis chapter 25 verse 21 to 28. Okay, What happened to the father Abraham is now also happening to Isaac the child. Okay, if it can end there, we can say it's a coincidence. There is no problem there. The problem comes with the third generation. Isaac gave birth to Jacob. And Jacob had 2 wives, Rachel and Leah. All of them, once he had the problems with the barrenness, then you tell me it's a coincidence. There is nothing like that. 3 generations from father to the other, to the child, and the child to the other child. Then you tell me it's a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. There was something wrong with their blood. So the genetics of being barren were being transferred from a generation to a generation, a generation to a generation, a generation to a generation. We thank Jacob for being used by God for having at least 12 children to make sure this spirit of barrenness is broken. Even if he's going to find a place, 12 children, he had 12 children. This guy never took chances. He saw that, you know, there is a problem somewhere here. How can I have 2 wives and all of them, they suffer with barrenness? So when he had a chance, he had to make plenty children. Not 1, not 2, not 3, no. 12 of them, boys. To make sure that even if barrenness is going to find power on 12 children, never. How can you have 12 barren children? Even if the case is powerful, and this an example. People will begin to move. So long you are plenty, you are seeing something abnormal, people will move around. So you are seeing here, I don't know what happened, what caused this kind of blood to be in Abraham, the blessed man. The kind of barrenness. Probably God had planned in Abraham that he, of course, Abraham was going to have a child when he was old. But I'm very sure when he gave birth to Isaac, he was supposed to rebuke the spirit of barrenness. He was supposed to bless him with the fruitfulness. Then Isaac, when he was also blessing Jacob, he was also supposed to speak words against barrenness so that they would break this kind of curse. Because you are blessed man, you have power in your mouth. But you are forgetting you have a problem which you went through. You may also transfer it to your children. So these guys relaxed, thinking with everything is normal. So it was tolerated. So plenty of you are suffering from the genes. You are suffering from what you are carrying from your fathers, from your mothers. That is why you try so hard. You wonder, okay, when things seems to be now, you are about to rise, something will take you down. You are about to go high, something will pull you down. You are about to make it, something will definitely take down. We are about to be married, something will definitely break that relationship. Everything just goes wrong. Those are cases. Blood is very dangerous. What kind of blood are you carrying? Some of you, they just blame you even if you never did anything. People just begin to hate you and blame you for something that you don't even know. Even if you say something positive, it will end up being negative. Nobody listens to you. Nobody respects you. Nobody sees your value. Even if you do something to a human being, they will never thank you. What kind of a case is that? What did you do to deserve this? So looking at your life, are you okay or you are cursed? Are you living your normal life or somebody's living it? Is this the way that God created you, or there is a transfer from somewhere? I'm preparing for a deliverance from cases. I will show you how things are done. I will show you how cases are broken. Then number 2, let's leave the blood because our time is up now. Number 2, the names and surname. Names and surname. That is why you see some people, they were given names of their aunties, and the characters of their aunties went to them, the poverty, the barrenness, whatsoever that followed their aunties who passed on, followed them, because names are very strong. Names are very strong. It's very dangerous to name your children in the way that you don't even know. How can you give, like in Shona, there is another name which is called Namo, poverty. And it's very rare to see Namo making it in life, because already the name is cursed. Names are very dangerous. Whose name did you give your child? How can you give your child a name of an uncle who is known for witchcraft in the area? Just because of he is an uncle. And the families have problems. When their uncle is bewitching the whole community, they will defend him. They don't want to accept the truth. They don't want. No matter how many people are complaining about the uncle, you went everywhere. Your uncle is the one who is being caught. He is bewitching the community. Bazukuru, Kana, they don't even want to hear. Yes, leave our uncle alone. You must know that witchcraft is real, and your uncle can be a witch. Even your fathers, some of you have your fathers who are witches, your fathers who have bad luck, your fathers who have bad history, and you are taking the names of your fathers who don't have any content, putting on your children. The reason why Jacob had to bless Isaac had to bless Jacob, because he had received a blessing. He was blessed by God. Yes, the parental blessing is in every parent. You can live well on this earth, right? Living well doesn't mean that you can be rich. You can just be well, you can have food, you can have money to pay rent, you can have what or necessities. But when we are talking about the blessing of Abraham, that man was rich. He was beyond the level of just living nice on earth. That man was rich, he was blessed, he was having everything. So when you are naming your children, you need to be very careful. Whose name are you putting on an innocent child? I prefer that the children begin to live their lives on their own without any complications. Some of you don't understand. You think we are dissing the fathers. Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about practical things. I've been doing deliverance for a long time. There are plenty times when I called out for people who have names. You do see them manifesting demons. Only names. Names are dangerous. So you don't know the power of names. When the angel was fighting with Jacob, Jacob held the angel to an extent that he had to complain, please leave me, I want to go. Then Jacob said, I want to go unless you bless me. Then the angel said to Jacob, okay, from today onwards, you are no longer called Jacob, you are called Israel. What was done there? The name was changed, meaning with the breakthrough power of Jacob came in the form of a name, meaning with the suffering of Jacob was in the name. Don't play with the names. Some other names, they are making people to suffer. Plenty people who are demon possessed, plenty people who are being followed by ancestral spirits. If you ask their names, they will tell you their names. They have somebody who used to have a same spirit. Names are very dangerous. So, what reason do you think God changed the Apostle Paul from Saul? He was called Saul. God changed him to Paul. Abraham was Abraham. He was changed to Abraham. Why? It was not a joke. There was something about names. Sarah was called Sarai. She was changed by God. There are plenty of people in the Bible who were given names. And the same names. There are some people who are suffering because they are carrying a case the same name. Maybe it was caged for different reasons, as I mentioned in the past. And that same name, so long it's on you, the cases of that same name are following you. This kind of family, they are known for suffering. They are known for what? They are known for what? Bad stuff only. You need to be free. Whose name are you carrying? Whose surname are you carrying? Is your surname clean, or there are some things which are happening? Then spirits. So what these spirits do, there are spirits like the marine spirits, the ancestral spirits, and so forth. These spirits, they follow number one, blood. Then they follow names and surname. So if their covenant was on the surname, anybody carrying that surname is under the spirits. So from generation to generation, they will be following everybody under either the blood. Maybe it was a blood covenant which was done with the ancestral spirits, or maybe it was a surname covenant whatsoever. The spirit will follow either the blood or the surname. Or let's say the name of the person who first made a covenant with the spirit is the name that you are carrying. Definitely the one who is carrying that name will be followed by the spirit. So it becomes a very crucial issue when spirits are also involved. Imagine you have a bad blood, the blood which carries cases. You have a bad surname, the surname which carries cases. Then a spirit on top which is following to make sure, guys, So I want you to mark these things: blood, names, surnames, and spirits. And this is where your deliverance is. And I shall send another teaching. In that teaching, I will make sure that at the end of it, you will be knowing how to break your cases and how to be free from your family cases. And you shall be free, and free indeed. Your problem is most of the times you need a powerful man of God to pray for you, of which sometimes deliverance is in prayer, yes, but most of the times deliverance is in knowing the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Nandina mana akatukwa anoramba akatukwa. Kana baba wako Mwari vakandichinja, vakandiropafadza, you can also be blessed. I'm saying I don't have any child that follows me who shall remain cursed. If I, your father, was cursed and God changed me and blessed me, you are going to be the same. We are going far, children of God. We are going far. We are a generation of fire, a generation of miracles. We are heading somewhere. Any spirit that is following the blood, any spirit that is following the name and surname, any spirit that is following whatsoever about your life, because of this teaching, we are going to put an end, and you shall be free. I don't see the reason why what your sister who doesn't worship God is going through should follow you. Then our worship of God, our faith, is just useless. If I have any Christian who is going through what his family is going through, that's a problem. If your brother is going through tough times and he is not a Christian and you are a Christian, the difference between you and him must be seen by the success of your life, even though the family is cursed, so that they can come to Christ. But now, there is no any reason these people should come to Christ, because you under Christ, you are still suffering. You are slacking something that I will tell you in the next segment. You need to listen to this. Must be hungry for it. The men of God, you want this one. We shall be free and be free indeed. I encourage people to listen to these sermons, because they carry the important information that plenty people fail to expose. They know scriptures, they know how to claim verses, but if they are going to put things to mean something to our lives, they fail. They will tell you where every verse is and tell them to relate the verse to our lives. They fail. We have to simplify things in such a way that when a person is listening, can understand what this person is talking to my life. As you are doing right now, you can hear what you know. I was talking to you somewhere. I was talking to your life. And whenever God speaks to your life like this, it means that your deliverance is around. Because the Bible says you shall know the truth. Once you know it, you shall be set free. Now that you know, I don't want to end up as a hypocrite, a person who just speaks things and don't deliver, a person who just speaks things and don't give solution. I'll give you solutions and I'll tell you what to do, And you find when people begin to know about this apostle, they will overtake you, they will rush to him, because they will be saying, no, we have found a man who has our solutions. He speaks practical things. He speaks things which make sense, transforming lives, giving us proper information that we need for our lives to be okay. By the way, this is Apostle Sean from GM Ministries. Apostle Sean from GM Ministries. Those who would want to get in touch with me, my number is +27 626 797 461 +27 626 797 461. That's a South African number. Then if you want to follow me on my page, search Apostle Sean GM Ministry on Facebook. Apostle Sean. Sean, it's S-E-A-N. Ministry. GM, it's J-I-A-M, which means Jesus in Action Movement. Apostle Sean GM Ministry, not Ministries. Yes, of course, there is another page which is GM Ministries International, but that's not my personal page. That is church page. So you can follow me on Facebook, and even on YouTube you can search GM Ministries, where you can find our teachings, our music, and everything there. I am signing out. I'm hoping to bring you another version of part 2, which will come with your deliverance, restoration in Jesus' name. Thank you so much for listening. I love you so much. God bless you.